Alright. Get out your homework. I need you to get out your flow chart, and I need you to get out that checklist, the yes-no chart. The one with arrows, the flow chart that we did yesterday. Yeah. I'm going to go over the ones you ask questions about, but then I'm for sure going over the ones that are going to be on the test. So, here are your answers to 1 through 5. Answer.
Did we all pass the test?
I gotta go through and look.
You forgot your degree.
Yeah, I know. I did this a couple years ago.
I passed the test.
Alright. Checking, you're checking. I'm doing this quickly because we got a lot to do today. Number 2. So if n, hey y'all, quit talking please. If NDR is 125, if this whole thing is 125, then remember it's a rhombus, or is it a rhombus? No, it's a parallelogram. Sorry. I'm doing number 2. Lost my train of thought. Then DNE, remember that they're supplementary, so you just subtract from 180. Yeah. All right, moving on up. How'd I get which one? Okay, number 6. You are going to see again. Do you see how I have it circled, starred, highlighted? All the good juice? Alright. So for number 6, it tells you that it has a height. The only time you are ever going to see a height is if there is a right angle. What's on the bottom? B? Oh no, that's D, A, and B's up here. Okay, so it tells us that AC is 25. So I'm going to connect AC. That's 25. It says AD is 12. And the height of the whole thing is 15. I am going to draw a height out here for 15. Now, I have just created one huge right triangle. If I know that the C is 25 and this is 15, what is this whole bottom part? 25 squared minus 15 squared.
Why is it? Okay, that's my fault.
It's 20. How did I do that so fast? It's a 3, 4, 5. What's 3 times 5? 4 times 5, 5 times 5. Okay, 3, 4, 5 is going to come up over and over again. Now, if I know the whole thing is 20 and that part is 12, what is this right here? 8. And if I know that's 8 and that's 15, which is 64 plus 225 square rooted is 17. Alright, now what does my question ask for? The perimeter of the parallelogram. So now my 15 is kind of irrelevant. This is what? 20 plus 17 plus 20 plus 17 is... Oh, 12, sorry. 12 plus 17 plus 12 plus 17 is... That's how I got 58. Okay? I don't know. I didn't watch it enough to know. Alright, here's 7, 8, and 9. You had to do trig on number 9. Remember, anytime I'm asking for a side, I want you to go 3 decimal places. Any questions on the front? Number 8. So if I know the whole thing, the perimeter is 68, this tells me it's a rhombus. So what is each side? Okay. And if I know RO is 16, what is, bless you. What is this side right here? 8. And what did we say each one was 17? So what is this going to be right here? That's a special one I taught y'all. Y'all wrote down in special right triangles. It is 15. Now, what does the question ask for? The whole thing. Make sure you read the question. We good? Good job. All right, turning over. Number 12. You are not going to have a system that complicated. It's very complicated. Here is the work. I'm not really, yeah. There is the work.
That's so funny.
So my first system was MB plus BH equals MH. So that's what I got there. And then I also know that these two sides are congruent to each other. So MB equals BH. Then I made them all go to standard form, meaning I made X and Y go together. So I moved all my X's to one side and my number to the other. And right here, I moved my Y so that I could have X's and Y's line up and my constants. Well, I can't cross anything out, but if I multiplied the top by -3, then I get -3x plus 6y equals 6 because I multiplied everything. If I just rewrite the bottom one, and then I can eliminate and simplify. Again, you are not going to have a system this complicated. Not right now. If you really, really struggled with this worksheet, I highly suggest you coming to tutoring. I'm going to do tutoring for sure on Tuesday and Wednesday because you have a quiz on Thursday. Okay? Monday, I'm trying not to stay past 3:10.
Do you ever come early? No.
Coach Dyer is here every morning by 6:45 and 2455. He'll be glad to help you. All right. I'm going to do number 13 for you. So I'm going to redraw number 13. Yes. Not right now. All right. So it tells you that RT is 16 and CT is 20. And it wants you to find TAR. So it wants you to find this angle right here. This is a test question. Now, when in doubt, make a triangle. Now, what do I know about this? Am I sure?
Yes, because it's a rectangle.
How do you know it's a rectangle? It literally says it's a rectangle. All right. I'm going to tell you this is going to be the easiest angle to figure, or not the easiest, the most important angle to figure out. How do I find that angle? Trick. I have opposite and I have adjacent. So the tangent, y'all like my pen? Did we talk about my pen?
Yeah, recommend us not watching it.
Yes, don't watch it. All right, and then how do I find x? Inverse tan. Make sure your calculator's in degrees. So when you inverse tan, is it 20 on top? You get this, okay? Now, look please. Do you agree that that gives me x? Do you also agree that there is another triangle in this? And do you agree that it is isosceles because those are congruent? So that is also x? So how do I find my missing angle here?
51.3 times 2 and then subtract from 180.
add it from itself, and then subtract from 180, and what do I get?
77.8.
And because it's an angle, I only want you to go 1 decimal place. Yes. Pythagorean theorem wouldn't have helped you find an angle. So you could have done it. Oh, for AE, you do Pythagorean theorem and then you divide it by 2. That's how we find that one. I was doing this down here. Say it again. How? Oh, you mean for above? That's fine. I don't know if that's... Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. Ooh, sorry. Moving on up. Here is 14 through the rest. On number 21, if you give me a decimal because you did trig, that's okay. But if it's a square, do 45, 45, 90. No, but some people did trig on this. But if it's a 45, 45, 90 or 30, 60, 90, I would prefer you to do those methods instead of trig. Okay. Yes.
Why isn't your calculator in degrees all the time?
Because the automatic setting on a calculator goes to radians.
What's the difference?
You're going to learn that in pre-cal. Yes. All right. Put away your homework. And today we are learning about trapezoids. Open up to page 45 in your notes, and I would like you to copy this down. Page 45, label it trapezoids. And copy this down, please.
Miss, I think that you needed so James to start putting up his calculator.
I'll let him know. Yes, please draw this. So this is a trapezoid. This is just a regular old plain trapezoid. We're going to write it down in a second, but the definition of a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with one set of sides parallel. The sides that are parallel we call the bases, and the sides that are not parallel we call the legs. Your base angles are connected to your bases. Okay. Because these little symbols say they're parallel, that makes it a trapezoid. Okay, I'm going to give you like 5 more seconds to draw this. Get your flow chart. Alright, that was more than 5 seconds. Your flow chart. Turn it over. Yesterday we filled out the parallelogram side. Turn it over to the back to look at the trapezoid side. Alright, so the definition of a trapezoid is a quadrilateral
One pair of parallel.
where one set of opposite sides are parallel. Now, the only property that we have about trapezoids are because these two sides are parallel to each other. What do I know about these angles? They're not congruent. Why are they supplementary? This is my parallel line, and here is my transversal. What are these? Same side interior angles are supplementary. So, does that apply for these two? Yes, because this is still parallel lines and this is a different transversal. So they will be supplementary. Because all four angles are different. The angles are not going to be congruent.
Why would
Yeah.
you like anything at all if they're all different?
Just because I wanted to show you all that. Yeah. That is the only property of a trapezoid. Now an isosceles trapezoid has this property here. The definition is a trapezoid where the non-parallel sides are congruent. So these sides are parallel. So what does that mean about my other sides? They're congruent. It's a lot to remember, and that's why this unit is so hard. It's not because everything's really hard, but it's just so much information. By the way, if you draw the diagonals of your trapezoid, you'll notice that they are different. However, if you draw the diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid, they are the same. So the property number... Okay, so they don't bisect each other because that's not in the middle, but they are congruent. Something else that is special about an isosceles trapezoid is my base angles are the same. These two bottom angles are going to be congruent, and my two top angles are congruent. Yes. Do I have any questions? All right, put that, yes. Now get your checklist or your yes/no chart out. We already filled in this much of it. Now we're going to fill in our trapezoid. Kite's going to be tomorrow or Monday for us. For a trapezoid, are all angles 90?
No.
What about for an isosceles trapezoid? What about for a right trapezoid? Okay, for a right trapezoid, no, but only two are. And for a right trapezoid, it's two of them because remember they have to be supplementary. So if one of them is 90, then the other one has to be. Okay? Number of opposite angles congruent. 0 for all of them. Remember, opposite means across from. None of them are going to have congruent opposite angles. By the way, I'm posting all my lessons on YouTube. So if you want to relook at this one day, you can. Number of opposite sides parallel. Only, okay, so it's a set of opposite sides. Yeah. Number of opposite sides congruent. For a regular trapezoid? 0. What about for an isosceles? What about for a right? Consecutive angles supplementary. Okay. Are these angles going to be supplementary? No. But are these? Yes. So this is going to be SSIA only. For a trapezoid, are my diagonals congruent?
Yes. No.
For the regular trapezoid, were the diagonals congruent? No. What about for my isosceles trapezoid? What about for my right trapezoid? No. Are the diagonals going to bisect each other? Never. What about, are they perpendicular? And are they going to bisect opposite angles? Again, we'll do kite. Okay, your chart and your flow chart can go off to the side. They are there for you to use as a reference during homework. I'll have to find it. Now, I would like you to get out your notes. We are going to do 6 examples in your notes, but I'm going to do 7 of them. So this is example number 1.
Erase this one?
Write this one down.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is example 1.
So we're just doing it parallelograms now, we're doing trapezoids.
Correct.
Great. I haven't really gone the other one yet, so.
Okay. I gave you angle D and angle B. What's angle A? Okay, remember, they are supplementary. So this plus this one has to equal 180. So what's 180 minus 138? So angle A is 138. What? What about angle B? What? Thank you. Angle B. So what is angle C then? Remember, they have to equal 180. So that's 70. That's just saying that this plus this should equal 180. Because they're in between the 2 parallel lines. They're SSIA. And that's that. Any questions? Bless you. Okay. Next one I want you to draw. Here's example 2. And make sure when you're drawing these examples, I didn't add these, put the parallel signs. Otherwise, it's not a trapezoid. Yeah, we wouldn't know. What is this? This is an isosceles trapezoid. Okay. So what do I know? How come the base angles are congruent? Only because it's isosceles. So angle C is 42 degrees. Now how do I find angle A and B? Remember they add up. I said remember. Remember they add up to 180. So, and I actually was really nice to you and kept giving you the same number so we could do it quick. Cool? Correct. Because remember, these still have to be supplementary. Okay. All right, next one. Write this, draw this, please. Example 3. I would like you to because I want you to get used to seeing them both ways.
I'm messing it up.
I know, that's why, because I'm gonna do that on your test. I'm gonna flip them just to mess with your head.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so draw your parallel sides. Now, if this is 90, what does this have to be?
90.
Why?
Because same side and
They're same side interior, so they have to be supplementary. So how would I find angle D? This plus this equals 180, so it's what? We will. Not yet. Now the height. Anytime I ask for the height, you need to look for perpendicular lines. Because so altitude, remember, we learned, is always creates a perpendicular angle. What? So look for the right angles. And so what is the height of this trapezoid? It's basically how long in between the parallel lines. So 15.
Oh yeah, sure.
We good? Can I change it? Okay. You do not have to write this one down. I just want you to watch. Unless you want to. What is this?
A trapezoid.
What type of trapezoid? Isosceles. So, because it has these lines, I know that it's isosceles. So what do I know about these angles?
They're the same.
So 3x minus 5 equals x plus 7. If I solve, I get 2x equals 12, right?
X is 6.
So x equals 6. Are we cool with that?
No.
Okay. Now I want to know what angle D is. So if I plug in 6, what's 3 times 6?
18.
Minus 5. So angle D is 13. That's wrong. Thank you. That's right. All right. So what's angle A? What?
It's 180 minus 13, right?
180 minus 13
167.
degrees.
Then isn't B the same?
Okay, so B would also be 167, but my thing isn't asking for B. Now it wants to know BC. Well, what do I know BC is?
8 times 6.
I know it's AD, so it's both 8x. What was my x?
6.
So what's 8 times 6?
48.
Does that make sense? You know that these are the same. So this is 8x, and then I pulled my x from down here. Okay, another one you don't need to write down. You just need to look up here. What type of trapezoid is this? What do I know about the diagonals? Okay, so if AE is 2x and EC is 3x and the whole thing
5x.
is 30, how would I set up this equation?
5x. Yeah. So x equals 6 again.
Bam.
Boom.
Yes, sorry, I forgot all of them, so that's why I'm adding them in. Okay, I demand you to write this one down.
I highly doubt that.
No, I eat a lot. I eat like.
Yesterday
But you are a male. I'm just female and I eat a lot. Oh well.
Nobody wants to know about y'all's eating habits, if I'm being
Oh
honest.
well. I'm something anyway.
Alright, what type of trapezoid is this?
No, but I said.
Alright, so what do I know? What can I add in here? What's 90? A is also 90. And hey, what's angle B? Okay. Listen, please. Oh, and I got to draw that this is a trapezoid. How do I find AB?
Math. Make it a triangle.
When in doubt,
Yeah.
Make a triangle.
Make a
Oh,
square.
I remember this. I was so bad at this.
okay,
I should rhyme. When in doubt, something.
triangle it out.
Yeah.
All right. Do you agree with me that from here to here is how much? So how much is this right here? 8.
Oh, because.
All right. If this is 10 and this is 8, what is this?
6.
Why is this so?
3, 4.
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. Why did I say 8?
3, 4, 5. All right. Now, so what's AB? 6. Because, hello, they're the same. Now I'm going to add in another problem.
Okay.
What is the measure of angle C?
Well, you carry the 2.
What is angle C?
Can you do
Cosine.
You have to do trig. Now, which function do you do?
You can do any.
Inverse cosine.
You have all of the sides. It's up to you.
Sine of x.
So y'all like sine?
Cosine.
So we'll do opposite. If you want to do cosine, you should still get the same answer. Opposite over hypotenuse, so the sine.
Sine of x is 6 over 10.
Okay.
No, we have to wait.
Make sure your calculator's in degrees and... Oh, I don't know my calculator. Is 36.9 is wrong. Degrees. My gosh, too.
Honestly, if I was down teacher, I would be bad. I'd just be like, it's fine. They do it's fine.
Okay. Second to last problem. How many examples are we on? So this is 5? Okay, example 5, and then we have example 6, and we're done. Okay. I'll give you a second to... Actually, let's not do this one. Okay, time out. We're going to do this one. Let's not draw this. Okay, I want you to watch, though. Because it is a lot. If you want to do it anyways, that's fine. Do you agree that... Or what should I do first?
Oh, you should find the perimeter.
No, find the bottom of the triangle.
Find
How?
D.
Because it's 20. No, just, I really don't know.
Find angle
Make
B.
another triangle on the other side.
When in doubt.
So then it's a rectangle, so the bottom of it is 22.
So this bottom...
And then you
Okay.
know,
Oh my god.
I've never seen that happen.
Caught on camera.
So that is 22.
You watch it, they're just like, what did I just see?
Okay, you can go watch it on YouTube later.
then you know both sides of the triangle will be the same.
Okay, so then I have to subtract. And what's 45 minus 22?
37.
No.
Oh, that was on camera too. Okay, so this side is 23. No, why not?
Divided by 2.
Okay,
Why do we divide it by 2 though?
Because-
it's two triangles.
ooh, let's not be rude. Okay, 4 right here.
Then 32 is the same on the other side.
Chill out, chill out, chill out. Everybody chill out. Y'all. Now, I have this. What do I do to find this side? Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to do c squared equals a squared plus b squared. I'm going to tell you right now it's going to be an ugly number. So
It's gonna be like a square root of the decimal.
it's going to be something like, let me look. Oh, that should be 32, right? 32 squared plus 11.5 squared to the square root. It's 34.004. Okay. Now, so what's this side? So how do I find perimeter?
Add them together.
So times 2 plus 45 plus 22, and there's my perimeter. Are we cool? Okay. Do we know how to find D? Okay, cool. All right. Last thing. Trig. Your mid-segment. We learned, listen, it's really easy, I promise. We learned mid-segments of triangles. Do y'all remember that a little bit? Okay? Your mid-segment is the midpoint of each. You don't need to write this down yet. It's the midpoint of each, and your mid-segment is parallel to your bases. Are we cool? To find the mid-segment, this is what I want you to write down. It's our mid-segment formula. Now, what if I said this was 20 and this was 30? How long is our mid-segment? 20 plus 30 is what? Divided by 2? So M is 25. That's it. Now, how far is 20 from 30?
That's 5.
No, how far is 20 from 30?
10.
10. So they need to be the same amount away. Plus 5, plus 5.
This is spectacular.
20 to 30?
Oh, I'm stupid.
I didn't say that, but
But.
It is.
I might have thought it. Just kidding. I didn't say that.
Wow, I feel really dumb.
Miss Abby?
Oh, that picture.
I don't remember doing this.
Oh, I remember.
All right, ready for examples? All right, you don't have to write these both down if you don't want to, but just look. How would I find x? Well, what's my formula? X plus 17, base plus base, divided by 2 equals what? Mid-segment. Okay. Watch. How do I get x by itself? Times 2. Minus 17, what does x equal? Okay. Is there an easier way? What do you do here? So what can you do here? Bam.
Wait,
It will work every time.
why are you doing plus 4?
Because how did you get from 13 to 17? So what you do to 1, I mean, same thing. Okay, right here, I could do 2.5 plus 8.5 divided by 2, which gives me 11 over 2, which is 5.5. Or, from here to here is plus 6. So, what am I going to do to each of these? Either way, it works.
Where do you get the 9 from over here?
So if this is plus 4, what plus 4 gives me 13? Okay. Yes. Yes, that's simple. There's nothing extra about that.
Wow.
Okay. Your homework tonight. I'm about to hand it to you. You're going to notice the front says trapezoids, the back says kites. Have we learned kites?
Yeah.
No.
Not a fly that big.
So we don't have to do that side.
You do not have to do the kite side yet. You will have to do the kite side next week.
So you're not picking it up for a grade.
Yeah, it's for tomorrow. I am picking it up for a grade once you finish kites. So you essentially have 2 days to do this. I would do it all tonight so you don't have too much homework. All right. All right, good luck.